Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry, and this is episode 262, and it's our final film review of the Bengals draft prospects, and it's going to lead us to Landon Robinson, the defensive tackle of Navy, who honestly could have went much earlier, right? This is a guy that, just based on the flashes, we're going to see a lot of flashes today. You would be like, this guy should go in the third round. Fourth round, maybe even, because he's small, and he is. He's under 6 foot tall. He's got short arms. He's 292 to 293. I think he was listed at the combine or at the Shrine Bowl, 293, because he didn't get invited to the combine, which is why probably he gets pushed back. It was our first sign that he's not going to go in the first 4 rounds, despite many of us, I did it too, taking him in the 4th round range in mock drafts because he was that good at Navy. And he's from the Cincinnati area. He's a Bengals fan. It seemed like this was destined to happen the whole time. I thought the Bengals would probably spend an earlier pick on him than I thought he would get drafted. And when they took him with their last pick in the 7th round, great. Maximizing the value you can get for somebody like Robinson completely in this draft. So I've got no issue with that at all. We're talking about a guy who, number one, just right off the bat, what you're going to see on this film. And then we'll jump into the film. I'm not going to go too long. But the athleticism is absolutely crazy. Athleticism, natural leverage, which creates power. We're going to talk about his power and hand usage is like some areas where he can get better. But his natural power due to natural leverage, athleticism, and converting that athleticism and speed into power, that's how he generates it. He is a strong guy. Clearly, look at him. But you get those things, that athleticism, man, allows him to jump gaps and get around guys. That it's usually the athleticism of a guy who gets drafted much, much earlier. The thing is, with this whole conversation, we're going to talk about after what he does and the evaluation. We're going to talk about his path to the roster and making this team, because a 7th rounder doesn't automatically make the roster. And I've already seen like the way too early 53-man projections, and they'll put Robinson over Chris Jenkins or McKinley Jackson, and I'm not so sure that's the case. It could be, though. And I don't know if we want to subject Robinson to waivers. We're getting ahead of ourselves already. Let's watch the film. Let's cut that on, and let's see what Landon Robinson can do. These are a lot of highlight clips here. So some people like these. Some people like the full game so we can see the sometimes there's a lot of lull in those videos, but we're all caught up and ready to go here. We got about 8 minutes of highlights of Landon Robinson doing his thing, why he's worthy of a draft pick out of Navy. Now, first thing I want to say is the level of competition here. You may see some Notre Dame clips probably being the highest level of competition. You'll see some Toledo, Air Force, obviously, Cincinnati clips. Not the highest level. Notre Dame, for sure. But if you were to just say, hey, who are they playing here? Because people like to bring that up when they brought that up during the Cassius Howell review. Oh, you're watching them against, what was it, Mississippi State? Guys, even if I were to give you the highlights of T. Higgins, and he's dunking on Jasir Taylor, which was now with the Bengals, or dunking on some backup that never did anything for the Steelers, that's what you do. You try to take advantage of the poor players in front of you, and that doesn't change in the NFL. It doesn't change in college either. You're trying to beat the weakest link on the other team. So let's watch Landon Robinson. Number 96, you're going to see him a lot. I want to start off right from the beginning, though. You're going to see him a lot in the A-gap. So some of his production, he doesn't have production issues, I want to be clear, but some of his production is a little bit limited because anytime you're in the A-gap, you get a little bit less production. And that's true in the NFL. That's true in college football. And it's because typically you got to deal with 2 players here, being the guard and the center. Where if you're kicked out a little bit wider between the tackle and the guard, a lot of times that tackle has to go get that end, right? So you got one-on-one with the guard. Does that make sense? All right, so Landon Robinson here in the A-gap, just shaded off of the center, ends up going against the left guard there. And what a quick, simple win. I want to go back. I even think I have this one later for an example, but you can see instantly jumping a gap over this way, And then the power, you see his right arm right here underneath, gets him under the armpit, and is just lifting this guy out of the way. So you're getting a good mix of speed, hand placement, lateral agility, and power. And he's able to, even though I think that's the tackle trying to come over and help, he was able to get skinny, turn his shoulders, and get himself right to the quarterback for the sack. That is a high level, very, very clean win for Landon Robinson. And we're going to see this one as well. Let me rewind it. I mean, just a quick arm over to get to the center. The center's trying to pick him up, but because that guard gave no resistance to Robinson, Robinson's able to go just head first into that center, just steamroll him absolutely, and then close on the quarterback, which is a big thing. You have to be a good athlete to turn pressures into sacks. You're just beating him across the face right there again, beating that left guard from one side to the other, give him a step one way and then back the other way. Here he's kind of left unblocked, but I want you to see his level of awareness here as he realizes this guy's going that way. Okay, I probably got the tight end, and a little bit of confusion on the offensive line blocking, but making a tackle in the hole is a good thing for a defensive lineman. Again, just beating this guy, I think this is Toledo, and just beating him across the face. Here's one where I don't know if you saw where he came from, but he was directly here, comes all the way. He's got to play the end. You're going to see, by the way, a ton of loops and stunts and just slanting one way. So you're not really designed always to be the winner or the guy that's making the play in this defense. But what it can do is create some chaos and give you some free plays against the run or confuse the offensive line a little bit, like we just saw in the previous play against Tulane. On this one, he ends up all the way on the outside edge against an offensive tackle, but it doesn't completely take him out of the play, right? He's out there and he works his way back inside. And you see the power he hit the quarterback with? When he closes extremely fast, and he hits hard, man. He really hits these quarterbacks with a lot of power and speed. This is a great play for showing his ability, and we're going to have a whole cut up at the end of his ability to get low, play with great leverage, and turn that into being powerful, right? Geno Atkins was 6 foot, wasn't the biggest guy, but can you play with natural leverage that gives you power and vision? Look at it right there. He lifts that guy up so he can maintain the leverage and the advantage, stacks him and peeks to the inside, gets his eyes on the running back, and this is him in the middle, sheds him, and now he's in the hole and makes a tackle for almost no gain. That's what you want to see. And this is what I mean by him slanting and diving one way or the other. Here he is, basically a gap shaded over the center, and he's going to jump outside as this D tackle goes inside. And what that does is leave your most athletic guy here free to make a tackle in the hole. And he's a pretty good tackler for a D lineman. Again, stunting inside, working his way back inside, getting a sack there. Good leverage again here, playing low, getting underneath this guy. You see, the lineman did get pretty low to try and match Landon Robinson, but Robinson's hands are to the inside and underneath. You could see the lineman had his hand on the outside arm right there while Robinson's underneath and could lift him up. He's got his eyes inside, good vision inside, and he's going to dive in and make this tackle. And did you see, like, when he hit that running back completely folded to the side. Lots of power when he does make that tackle. Again, we're stunting him out there. Look at this grip strength. He gets his quarterback here off the stunt, and he's falling, right? He's got one hand on this guy, and he's able to drag him down and pull him down. The quarterback's body folds. That knee gives out with the power that Landon Robinson has on that play. Here he is straight up at the nose, and he's going to quickly dive as soon as the play starts, right? Quickly dive outside and get there. I want to actually go back to that play and spend another second on it. Right there at the snap. The center's on the ground. Guard's missing. Now it's not easy, right? Like, if I'm calling this as a defensive coordinator, hopefully we get our guys, the offensive lineman, missing like this. But Robinson is kind of in this trash here, and can he still find his way to the running back? And he does. He's able to continue to work himself to the open gap, to the hole, and make a play. All right, we're diving him and slanting him. This one's not so much dive. This is more of a looping position for Robinson as he comes all the way around this way. I like, and we did this years ago, but a lot of times you're going to have to squeeze between two offensive linemen as defensive tackle. We're asking these defensive tackles almost to be like a running back, to get skinny, really work on your toes, turn your hips and your shoulders, really become an athlete when you're getting through these guys. And Robinson is able to do that very, very well. And man, again, smokes the quarterback. He is hitting guys with so much force and ferocity. A lot of movement there. A very active player, high motor player. He's going to split this guard in the center. Again, he's shaded to the outside of the guard. So he's going to jump inside as his first move here. Knocks that outside hand. And so he's going to swat it and rip so that lineman's arm cannot actually get in front of him and hold him. And as the center's trying to get there, again, too late. He gets between both guys. Now he's just on the hunt to take down the quarterback and chase him down. Again, just jumping the gap, right? Let's see if I can go all the way back here. Just jumping across the face of this guard. And giving him, I think, an arm over. Yep, knocks that hand down and away. And you've got to be a certain level of athlete. Let me see if I can go back here. To jump this far when you're doing this. So if he's starting from, let's say, about this spot here, he's going to really press all the way as far as he can. So if the gap is this big, right, between the guard and the center, he is going to press purposely. He's going to press as far as he can to this side without getting the center's attention. The center's looking this way. He knows the defense was having extra guys on the side. The center's going to look this way first, and we're actually bringing the blitz from the other side, right? So he knows he's not going to get that attention of the center, but watch how far he gets. He gets so close to almost taps him on the butt on his way by, right? That really stresses the guard. And if the guard is not an elite athlete, he's not going to be able to match that when you do that. Good awareness, right? Again, same thing. He was looping out of the way from the plays. They were slanting the one way. And once he gets there, his job is basically contained. He sees the ball pop in the air and he makes a play on it. I mean, again here, this play is like him being an athlete. Let me go back. He's on the left side of the center, and he's going to end up over here, right at the snap. All the way around, center and guard are now blocking nobody because of his ability to get over and then stay. Look, which way is he facing? He's not facing this way. He's not getting washed down the line. He gets back this way and is facing at the running back. Able to make a play. He's in great position. And he does. He gets involved. And that's Notre Dame. See him getting in the face of the quarterback, fighting with it, getting a hand up. Again, throwing down the guard of Notre Dame. I think it's the guard. It is. He's on the left side, so he's going to try and get out in front of the guard. He does. And as the guard's got position here, Robinson's going to throw that guy back down, get back into the hole, and make a play and help make this tackle. It's a very high-level play there. Again, just beating. I think this is Georgia Tech, just beating that guy across his face. This is a great swim move. He's going to give you that jab to the inside first. That foot right here, jabbing inside. And it's going to put all the weight onto this foot for the lineman. You can see his body's going to shift this way. His weight's going to shift this way. All because Robinson is facing this way and hitting that jab step. And when that weight gets over there, it leaves such a gap for him to jump back over. So one step, jump back this way. I mean, his foot went from here to here, right? His left foot. And then he's completely reaching over. And this is why it's a swim move, right? Swim move isn't passive, just reach your arm over. It should be shooting it and ripping down with it because you're trying to like almost lock that guy's arm in between so he can't do anything to you. You don't want to be passive with it and give your chest up too often. You want to be deliberate with it and rip with it. And there he does right there. Really pinches that guy's arm. And now at this point, if this lineman wants to grab, so you didn't completely get his hands off you, right? But you put him in a position where his head's down, his butt's facing the other end zone. If he wants to hold, it's an easy call for the ref on this play. And Robinson fights through it, gets in the quarterback's face. That could easily be called. Look at that. Do you see how quickly he jumps left to right? Like, this is not sped up. This is slowed down, if anything. Look at that. And like there's multiple guys on the ground or whiffing on Robinson right there. That is just extreme athleticism. Again, beating these guys directly off the snap. Diving in between. Look at this. Going from one side to the other. Again, this is the swim move. You give him the jab step to the outside, jump inside, and completely beats him. And his feet could have got tied up with that center as well. They didn't because he's an elite athlete. Fighting through and slamming the quarterback down. Oh, this isn't Georgia Tech. I may have said that earlier. This is Army. Anyways, or Colorado? Who's that? I can't see the helmet. It might be Colorado. Anyways, this play right here with Robinson, getting his hands here, lifting the elbow up, lifting that arm out of the way. I want to go back a click here because this is him converting speed to power. It's right here coming all the way to the other side. And you see how he gets into the chest here, lifts this arm up, and then goes for the power. And then is able to work his way back inside. It's a nice play. Just beating that center instantly. I mean, the get off and the speed is absolutely crazy for Robinson. He's an elite athlete in every sense. With good ball awareness, too. Like, you see that on these plays. He knows where the ball's going. He's not confused. On some full games, I do think there are times he can get swallowed. But it's few and far between. If you were to say a negative, it is the size. It does hurt him at times in terms of just what we can see in a full game. He can get swallowed up. He can get lost a little bit in run defense because he just doesn't see it. He's just not that big. These are all really good run defense plays, though. So that's why I wanted to talk about that before we got to the run defense portion. And even on a quarterback draw, like he's getting in there and then working his way back. Here he is, like leverage. We want to see a small guy. We automatically assume small guys are just going to get run over and run through. But when you play with great leverage like this, you're not. And that was a double team right there. That center and guard was coming over to help. And watch him just maintain this leverage the whole time. You got no push on him at all. Again, here, same thing. No push. That center could probably help a little bit more, but you see him get a shoulder in there trying to help. It's nothing. Robinson's got tremendous leverage, hand placement, and vision, just understanding of what's happening right there. He's letting the line block one way and jump into the other. Like, look at this. Look how low he's getting, dropping to that knee. Two guys are absolutely wrestling him out of that hole, and they cannot move him. This play is crazy. I'll go back one more time to that one. It's one after this. Watch these two guys really try wrestling him out of there. They get no movement at all. They are trying to. Against Notre Dame again, just underneath that guard. That guard he has got his hands full with Robinson. He is a butt kicker in every sense of the word. Same thing. I mean, just the leverage is just so extreme with him. Look at him get low. Two guys on him. Can't move him. He's still there. You still haven't moved him. Left tackle for Notre Dame, again, can't move him. When he plays low with great technique and leverage, he is very good. Now we're going to stop it. He wasn't invited to the Combine, not the Senior Bowl. He was at the Shrine Bowl, which actually the Shrine Bowl, shout out to Eric Galco, my guy. The Shrine Bowl has matched the Senior Bowl in a lot of ways. We had Malachi Lawrence at the Shrine Bowl, went in the first round of the draft. So it's a great program, a great game, great week to highlight NFL talent. So Robinson's here. We're going to look at a lot of plays because these are some of the best blockers. So if you're one of the people that the highlights, we don't want to see the highlights against bad blockers, Joe. We want to see them against good competition. Well, the Shrine Bowl is going to give you that. Here he is going against a double team there, working between both guys. See how he split that thing? Let's go back. I love this because he goes and takes on one man. The double team is here, and this guy's going to end up falling. But Robinson just takes on 52. And what I tried to say when I was teaching kids, just go against one guy and then ultimately beat him and work your way back inside. Try and forget that other guy if you can. Here he is. Again, same thing. This might be the other side. That is the other angle. Yep. Another easy win around the outside. Knocking those hands down. being way more athletic than these guys. Look at that. There's a stunt there with his D end. We're going to get a few of these here. There's that stunt. We're going to get a few here where we're going to see some of his limitations. I think they're coming up now. Not there. He wins that one. Okay, I think this is where we're going to get them. There we go. Yeah. So he probably could have beaten this guy a little bit earlier and a little cleaner. As you saw, he went with power, and then he's going to try. It looks like he wanted to lift him up and then rip here. He never really gets the hands of the Auburn guy off of him. So ultimately never really gets there to the quarterback. He's going against Brian Parker here. Brian Parker's going to have great hand placement inside. And you even see the hands. Let's see if I can go back to it real fast. Right there. Watch Robinson right here. He gets the hand on him. He never's able to lift. He's got frenetic hands at times. This is what I noticed, and this is a point I really want to get to. Frenetic hands. They land where they're supposed to right there. It's a good example of it landing where it's supposed to, and he doesn't give it enough time. He kind of takes it off right away. Like, there it is right there. Why'd you go up to the wrist and then back to it and then to the wrist and then back to it? Did you see that? He went here, 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 here. You had it. Lift it up. Be confident in where your hands are landing here and get it out of there. And because of his hands sometimes, he never gets a clean win. And I don't say never. I mean, when he has this issue, he struggles to get a clean win. Trust his hands. Trust that they're landing. Trust that you have the strength and power to get this guy off of you. And you're not going to just be able to win with being an elite athlete that's also powerful, right? You need to master your technique at a consistent level in order to be a consistent winner at the NFL level. So he's trying to beat this guy up the field here. And if you watch the Jonathan Allen film review, if you didn't, go watch it. This is a great play for this. He's trying to beat this guy upfield. And then once you get this guy's hips to turn like this, because at this point he's facing like, his butt's facing like what right there, right? He's no longer facing where the quarterback is. You can lift with this arm right here, get it in the armpit and hump move him and get him out of there, and you can win back straight to the quarterback. So I believe that's what Robinson is attempting to do. We'll see it. We'll continue it right there. But he kind of gives up on it and then never really gets back to it. Meanwhile, this guy is locked in on Robinson's shoulder pads and never really lets go. You want to break that off of you at some point. If a guy's got you right here, you may say, that's holding. Your job as the D lineman is to get this hand and get it off. If you just let them, you're never going to win. They're grabbing you somewhere. They are grabbing you. No doubt about it. I don't care if it's under your armpits and they're grabbing you and the hand slides up and it looks like that. That's not holding. It's holding once you try to get that guy's off you and you can't. But if you never actually hit the guy's arm, they're never going to call holding on that. Or I shouldn't say never because the officials suck, but you'll see this a few times here. Again, he's got the opportunity to convert this into natural leverage and power. He's got this guy on his toes. His feet are crossing. You can lift and throw this guy out. Geno Atkins would lift this guy and launch him out of the room at this point. You've got the hand placement. Everything is there. So let's see if Robinson finishes it and is able to with this position here. He's got great position. His hand misses. You see that? So his hand didn't stay in the plate or in the armpit, misses across the face of the lineman and actually knocks his helmet off. This would be illegal hands to the face, and he would be getting a flag. This would be an automatic first down for the offense. All right, power move going directly to him. You can see what outside here. Oh, did I miss it? I think I did. I'm going to go back to it. One more click, a little bit quicker. So converting this power move and then ultimately getting your hands inside right here. I'm assuming the other hand is like right here. This arm is right here. Does that make sense? So his hands are right there and right there into the chest of your offensive lineman. Now I can walk you back. But what you're going to see here is this offensive lineman's hand right here. He's going to take it and get back underneath, and which is going to allow him to stop the bleeding, really, and stop from losing this rep to Landon Robinson. So watch that. I'm going to slow it down here. Get his hand underneath. Now Robinson's now ending up out here instead of in here, so his hands is slightly slid this way as the guy got back underneath. Robinson's job from here is now he has to win with his hands again. And he really never does. He's trying to just turn and contort this guy. There, you got your hand on his wrist. Get his hand out of there. I want to highlight this. You've got it right here. So he knows what to do. He's got him right here. Can he lift and get this guy's arm out of there? Maybe he can rip back inside. He never is able to. He's never to completely, and the clip ends there. But as he's lifting that guy out, that guy actually broke it and was getting his hand back inside. So this gets Jaeger Burton, I think his name was, the center from Kentucky. I mean, a really good job by Burton. I want to go back to that play, not finish this completely. So Robinson tries to swipe him, and you see Burton's hands going with him. Like, they're getting swiped, but I'm getting my hands back inside just as quick as you are. And as he's trying to work him all the way, you gave him a little length shot there in the chest. And now Robinson's going to try and work his way back inside. Does get him ultimately there, but that's like the third, fourth move at that point. So a couple plays there to show you where he still has some development to go. So as my shirt is trying to recover from all the ripping I was doing, trying to explain and show in that little box at the bottom. But Landon Robinson looks like a fun player, and I was happy to have him as a prospect. Does that mean he automatically makes this roster, right? I'm not so sure. And does it automatically mean that he'll be claimed and all that? We got to see how preseason and camp goes. I do think the Bengals, and I'm telling you this, like looking in the camera, I do think the Bengals have already had offers for Chris Jenkins, and they've turned him down. So will they circle back around now that they have Landon Robinson? Do they still really believe in Chris Jenkins? Can Chris Jenkins take a step in year 3? It's possible. Can McKinley Jackson take a step in year 3? It's possible. And because of it, and those guys are getting pushed down the depth chart even more now, they're going to be playing against third and fourth stringers in preseason as well. Probably comparable competition to what Robinson's going to get in preseason. You're going to get a direct comparison. And I like Robinson a ton. If he flashes in preseason and shows what he can do, you have to start looking at, okay, who's going to be active at the defensive tackle spot? Obviously, Dexter Lawrence, B.J. Hill, Jonathan Allen, and currently T.J. Slayton. There's 4. You probably get a 5th guy in there. Is that then McKinley Jackson, Chris Jenkins? One of those, more than likely. Is it Robinson? Do they only activate 4 on some days? More than likely, if they're going to play more 3-4 defense and more odd man fronts, they're going to go with 5 guys. So if Robinson's not going to be active and it's going to be Chris Jenkins instead, maybe he doesn't make the roster. And maybe you can get him on the practice squad. He was a 7th round pick. Everyone else bypassed him. That probably largely depends on his summer. And if he looks really good in the summer and Jenkins doesn't, or if both really do, maybe then you trade Chris Jenkins and say, we got 4 years now of Robinson, and we can move Jenkins and get a equivalent of what is a 5th rounder, 4th rounder. Maybe you can get a linebacker. Maybe you can get someone that can help this team at a position we can't foresee because guys will get injured. Things will happen in the summer. But as of now, it's a position where I really like him. I want to be sure that we're clear on this. But it's not a lock that he makes the roster. It's not a lock that Jack Endries makes the roster. It's not a lock that Brian Parker makes the roster. When these guys are drafted as late as they are, anything can happen. But I do think Endries and Parker have a more direct path to the roster than Robinson does because of how much the Bengals have invested at that position. They just drafted Jackson and Jenkins. I know they're going in year 3, but that is still relatively recent. To spend 2nd and 3rd round picks, it means at one point, people in that building really liked both guys. Liked them more than they did Robinson, because Robinson was a 7th round pick. That pedigree does hold weight and does carry and stay with guys the whole time. And then you added Dexter Lawrence and Jonathan Allen. You've extended B.J. Hill. You just signed last year T.J. Slayton. Now, all that, I'm not saying like Slayton's a lock to be on the roster, but when you look at the investments, they're all bigger investments than what you just spent on Landon Robinson. So there is a scenario where he doesn't make it, but I am rooting for him. I think he's a good character fit. That's a guy you want that's going to work hard and be a bottom of the roster player, but then could potentially help you just a bit. I'd like to see him get some fullback reps too as well, maybe some tight end reps if he can block. He's that type of athlete, and I think he can do a lot of different things, and I'm excited to see what that looks like as he transitions from Navy to NFL level defensive tackle and defensive lineman. And maybe he's not doing so much nose stuff, and you can really unleash him at the NFL level at more of a 3-tech position in the preseason. And if you're looking for a new position or a new job out there, consider First Star Logistics. Head on over to firststarlogistics.com and you can see all of their hiring and openings that they're looking for right now. And it's a great place to work. I know, because I've been there for 3 years. Well, not actually there doing the logistics, but I've been a partner with them for 3 years. But every time I do go in there, let me tell you, the parking lot is full of nice cars. So these guys must be doing a good job and that must be a good job. So consider them. Head on over to their website and see what openings they have. And next time on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics, we're going to look at some of these undrafted guys that caught my eye during film review over the last couple of weeks. There's a few of them, actually. I wasn't as excited with last year's free agent crop. I really liked Braylon Lux. This year, though, I think there might be 3-4 guys that I'd be highly interested in developing and seeing what they can do. So we'll spend some time watching that. We've got nothing but time here in the summer. So until next time, Hoo day.